What up, YouTube? This your boy Nico, and I am back with another video. Alright, this video right here, what I'm about to show you is, okay, listen, sometimes we all need laughter. Laughter is good for the soul. And laughing can sometimes heal you. It also can make things better. But sometimes laughing can make us cry or make us happy. But what if laughing can kill you? So let's watch this video from infographics about laughing while dying. Yeah. No pun intended, like no harm intended. No, that's a video. It's a reaction video. So let's watch it.
No one knows when they'll reach the end of the road and what kind of death they may be faced with. It could happen in an instant without warning, or it could be a long, dragged-out process, leaving a person with plenty of time to reflect on their life. Samuel Butler, an English author who lived in the 1800s, once said, "If life must not be taken too seriously, then so neither must death." This quote brings us aptly to today's topic, about an end that may be one of the better ways to exit the world. Welcome to this episode of the Infographic Show. Death by laughing. A friend tells you a joke and you laugh. Then they tell you a really funny joke and you laugh so hard you fall over. And then there's the funniest joke of all, the one that made you laugh yourself to death. This is, of course, just a figure of speech. I mean, if you had really died laughing, you wouldn't be able to tell people about it, as you'd be lying 6 feet under in a wooden box. But can you really die from laughing? Actually, if you laugh hard enough, then it is possible to kill yourself. It can happen due to stress on the body when in hysterical laughter. Some of the ways include ruptured brain aneurysm, collapsed lung leading to suffocation, heart attack, strangulated hernia which cuts off blood flow to vital organs, asphyxiation, seizure, or stroke. None of those circumstances sound very funny at all. So what about some real cases? Ones where people have found themselves on the wrong side of the joke. When we started to research online, we were surprised to find there were more than we had expected. We've looked at some of the more interesting cases to see what was discovered about the cause of death, beyond the joke that got these people laughing in the first place. Let's take a look. 5. Sisyphus was an ancient Greek philosopher, a huge man. He lived more than 200 years before Christ, and was known for his work in Stoicism, an ancient school of philosophy of personal ethics. This meant Sisyphus valued the qualities of his mind over everyday sensory pleasures, which made the story of his death somewhat comical in itself, as it involved plenty of alcohol beverages and a random donkey. It was at the 143rd Olympiad, where the drink would have been flowing. There are 2 accounts of the story. In the first, Sisyphus was legless on strong wine and keeled over from laughter. Or was it too much wine? The second story is a bit more dramatic. Having seen a donkey chomping on figs, Sisyphus decided to give the creature some wine to wash the fruit down. He found the incident so hilarious that he laughed himself to his grave. It's hard to properly verify such an old story, but it's certainly an interesting one. 4. Next, we have the odd case of Damnoen Saeneum, a 52-year-old ice cream truck driver from Bangkok in Thailand, who died while laughing in his sleep. Yes, you heard me right, in his sleep. Thailand newspaper The Nation reported that Saeneum laughed for about 2 minutes before stopping breathing. His wife tried to wake him up, but he continued to laugh. The autopsy suggested that a heart attack might have been the final cause of death. I've never seen a case like this, but it's possible that a person could have a heart seizure while laughing or crying too hard in their sleep, said Dr. Somchai Chakrabarti, Deputy Director of the Mental Health Department. 3. Thomas Tommy Frederick Cooper lived from 1921 to 1984. He was a British comedian and magician who wore a red fez, which is a red cylindrical hat with a tassel named after the Moroccan city of Fez. Cooper was a big man, standing at 6 feet 4 inches and weighing more than 210 pounds. On the 15th of April 1984, this British comedian collapsed with a heart attack on live national television. It may not have been technically the laughing that killed Cooper, but he was cracking jokes at the time and surrounded by laughter as he was on stage in the midst of a comedy routine at Her Majesty's Theatre in London. The live audience and thousands of TV viewers thought it was part of his act, and so waited for him to get up, but it was soon clear that something was wrong. 2. To more recent times, in 2013, 22-year-old Mangesh Bhogal visited a multiplex along with his girlfriend in the state of Vasai in India to watch a Hindi comedy called Grand Masti. Everyone loves a comedy, but Bhogal loved it so much that he laughed himself all the way to a heart attack. Bhogal was rushed to Cardinal Gracias Hospital, but died before the ambulance could get him to the emergency room. Rakesh Shah, director of KT Vision, explained that during the incident, I was at the box office when one of our employees informed me about the incident. The youth was with his girlfriend, and they were watching the 6 p.m. show of Grand Masti. Those who sat beside the youth said he was laughing his heart out. According to Indian newspaper DNA, a police official from Manikpur police station said that a case of accidental death has been registered. 1. And finally, there's the case of UK citizen Alex Mitchell, who suffered heart failure after viewing the Ecky Thump episode of The Goodies in 1975. Maybe you've not heard of The Goodies. They're all made up of 3 British comedians, Tim Brooke-Taylor, Graham Garden, and Bill Oddie, who wrote and performed comedy shows during the 1970s and early 1980s. And funny enough to cause heart failure, it seems. But this mystery further unfolded in 2012, when Mitchell's 23-year-old granddaughter, Lisa Cork, had a near-fatal heart attack at home on the Isle of Sheppey in the UK. She was diagnosed with long QT syndrome, which doctors believe also could have caused Mitchell's death. There are just a few cases of how some people have laughed themselves to death. The ones we looked at stretch 2,000 plus years. One thing that seems certain is that it's not actually the laughing and joking that causes someone's life to end, but instead an underlying medical condition. So if you're fit and healthy, it's probably safe to keep laughing hard at your favorite jokes. Do you know of other strange and unlikely ways people have kicked the proverbial bucket? Let us know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video, What Happens When You Die. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Infographic Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.
That's enough. Alright, YouTube, enough of that. Alright. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction video from the infographics. And I hope the video was good to you. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And alright, YouTube. Until next time. Juicy Gang!